going to be making dairy-free fat bombs. And the purpose of fat bombs are to help you get over cravings. They are to help you when you're first getting started out, if you need a snack in between meals, you're feeling hunger. They also, like if you're craving something sweet, you can have a little fat bomb and it will help curb the craving. I don't make them so much anymore. Once you become fat adapted, your body's using the fat stores for fuel, you just don't seem to have as many cravings. You don't have the hunger like you used to. Fat bombs are great to have around in case you are even low, maybe on your fat for the day. Say you're eating a lean chicken for the day or lean tenderloin or something like that, and you want to add a little bit more fat to curb your hunger. They're great to have around in the refrigerator. So I'm going to show you how I make this one. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients. It's really easy to make. You just basically just mix it all together and put it in little molds. I have these little molds here that I got from Amazon. I will link them in this post so you can go get these if you want, or you can use any kind of mold that is not too big. You don't want it to be too big. I'm not sure what sizes are. You can kind of see by the size of my finger. These are about the size, I would say, of the Reese cup minis that you buy like in the bag with the individual size, the individual Reese cups. That's about what the size of these are. You could also use a muffin tin and just fill them in the bottom and make them flat and just have like a small flat one, not a big thick one. You don't want to overdo it. So that's why I like these, because they're more portion size and you can just grab one of these out of the refrigerator or 2. Sometimes you need 2 if you're really fighting some cravings. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I make these. Okay, so here are my ingredients that I use. I have some coconut oil here. I get mine from Sam's Club in a big jar. You're gonna wanna have this softened a little bit. You can put it in the microwave for just a few seconds to soften it. Mine was actually softened to room temperature because it's warm out and it was already softened, so I didn't even have to do that step. Do a 1/2 cup of softened coconut oil. You're gonna add, I'm gonna be adding a 1/4 cup of powdered monk fruit sweetener. This is the one I like to use right here. I get it on Amazon. Again, I will put all the links for the things that I'm using here down below. A lot of these things you can get at the grocery store too. So this right here, depending on how sweet you like it or how not sweet you like it, this can vary. You can change this amount however you want. I'm gonna be adding some bitter cocoa powder. You do want to have some sweetener in there if you don't like it super bitter. So this is a cocoa powder that I have found that I love. You can use Hershey's unsweetened cocoa powder as well, again from the grocery store. But this one, this is Anthony's organic culinary grade cocoa powder. This one is extra rich and it has a nice fat content. This one here tastes so good and rich. It's like expensive, like an expensive chocolate that you would get. You know how the difference, you can tell a difference in like a Hershey's chocolate bar and a nice expensive piece of chocolate. This has a really rich flavor to it. So I really like using this. You're only gonna need 2 to 3 tablespoons of this Hershey's, or you're only gonna need 2 to 3 tablespoons of this cocoa powder. And now this is unsweetened. It's very important that this is that you use unsweetened cocoa powder. And then I have some vanilla extract here. I make my own, and that's just what I'm using. You can use whatever kind of vanilla extract, or you can leave it out. It's, not mandatory that you have the vanilla extract in there. It just helps with the flavor. And then you just take a spoon and you just stir it all up. That's it, you guys. It's so easy to make these. And I'm going to spoon them into my molds. I don't really put any kind of cooking spray or anything in my molds because when this gets cold in the refrigerator, they're gonna shrink a little bit, and they come out pretty easily from your molds, whatever you're using. So that's mixed in pretty good. I put a nice teaspoonful into each mold. And then these are gonna go into the refrigerator, and I always make a mess. These are going to go into the refrigerator until they are solid. And then you can just pop them out, store them in a airtight container. And these need to be stored in the refrigerator. They will melt if you don't keep them in the refrigerator, so you want to keep them cold. You can even put them in the freezer if you like an icy, like a really ice cold treat. They're good out of the freezer as well. So I'm going to put these in the refrigerator for a little while, and once they get hard, I'll be back to show you what they look like, and I'll do a taste test. I was getting ready to put these in the refrigerator, and I forgot to mention, I like to put a little bit of salt on top of mine, just because I like that salty, sweet taste. I don't have any flaky salt right now. That would be really good, but this just gives it like a little salty, sweet flavor. I'll be back. Okay, so it's been about an hour, and these have been in the refrigerator. I'm going to show you how I pop these out. I'm doing this with one hand. I'm holding my phone because my little grandson's crawling around on the floor, and I'm not using a tripod right now. It's much easier when you have two hands. They pop out real easy, just like that. And you have these little fat bomb candies that are great when you have a craving or you need some extra fat. So easy, so good. I do think that I don't need as much sweetener anymore. I used to like them a lot sweeter, and these are really, really sweet. So I would probably back off on the sweetener myself if I made these again. So you want to play around with the sweetener amounts. When I first transitioned from the standard American diet to this low carb diet, I liked really sweet things. So these are perfect. That amount is perfect if you like sweet. But you might want to play around with it, make a small batch, and if it's too sweet, then back off on it. If it's not sweet enough, you can add a little more. But these are great. You can have this with a cup of coffee, and it's a great little dessert.